about what you are trying to do now in order to bring back what you vision as the important level of tourists, and also the services that you can provide to the tourists who are now changing, I guess, compared to pre-pandemic, please.
The first is Kathmandu is of course the capital city of Nepal. We should not ignore the infrastructure development of the city itself to mark it as the capital city. And the next is to develop the city as the city of culture, the cultural city. So we are more focusing to develop it as a living museum so that people come in, people can experience the beauty that our ancestors have given us, have gifted us, and we want to showcase that to the tourists, to the people who come to Kathmandu. As the government, as the local government, we are focusing on few practices to implement those strategies. The first is we're also focusing on encouraging people to build their houses in the traditional way. Including that, we are also focusing, supporting the tangible and intangible heritages. We focus on supporting different communities who have been working, who have been contributing in preserving and also promoting tangible and intangible heritages. We want to make sure that we build the foundation that we can rebound back in tourism industry after COVID-19, of course, and that basically focuses on sustainability and community involvement.
You might want to explain how come it's such a big medal.
First of all, I'm wearing the medal. This ornament represents a sun. I want to explain the tourism industry development. Much of it is the only area that carbon neutrality has been achieved. So apart from the cultural perspective, we have also social, economic, and political crisis. But we are trying to promote a solution in the future. From a cultural perspective, we need to address such a challenge through the development of tourism. We can address the potential risks in our country. For example, through tourism, we can also develop business types of tourism. We have mountains of 3,000 meters. So, there are many opportunities. We need to develop modern tourism industry to present our country, our city, and our classic culture.
Let's have the mayor of Victoria. How to make sure it will shine again, especially when you see all your colleagues are trying to compete for the attention and for the tourists from all over the world.
There are a number of sites that people should be able to visit to make it a memorable stay. I would also say that Seychelles is a sustainable tourism destination. Seychelles, we take our protection of the national resources is of high priority for us. So we enforce strict regulations on activities. The tourism department is also developing a sustainable tourism policy framework. This policy will serve as a tool to encourage stakeholders, I see, to pay increasing attention to dangers of forms of tourism that do not consider the impacts of unsustainable development.
We are trying to enrich the experience we can offer to tourists, achieve high-quality services in the following aspects. One is in health and aged care tourism, especially in the post-pandemic era. People are paying more attention to health, and we have noticed that trend. We have launched a series of health and aged care projects related to tourism, such as hot springs, forest tours, and so on and so forth. We're also stepping up our policy support. We have also established a specific fund to deal with tourism-related complaints, and we wanted to raise the level of security, and we're going to continue to enrich the portfolio of products and services we can offer.
What do you see are some of the new trends as a result? How to make it possible to have a new solution to these new trends?
We also have a wonderful natural environment, and so we are also willing to build it into a natural scenery-based attraction. So we want to integrate both the humanities, the cultural side, and the natural side of our city. So I feel for our city, we need to have a more diversified set of tourism resources, not just a World Heritage city, but also a wonderful scenic city. We want to build a smart city so that the new digital technologies can be integrated into city governance, so we can provide an even better experience to our tourists.
Due to climate change, the change in the climate has been affecting Kathmandu itself. So as a whole about the Nepal too, the climate change has adverse effect that we have been observing. Nepal has very less contribution towards the climate change, but we are one of the major victims of climate change. So that's one of the challenges that we see. And the next is we're also losing the authenticity, the real meaning of any nation in the name of modernization. So these days we believe in being modern, but at the same time there is a huge challenge of losing the authenticity. So especially in terms of culture and heritage that belongs to both tangible and intangible heritages. So these are some of the challenges that we experience, and we are majorly focusing on addressing the challenging, assuring that we don't dilute the value, we don't dilute the asset of Kathmandu and also of Nepal in the name of modernization.
The one we are trying to strengthen is smart tourism. We have a one-stop shop public service platform that is completely digitalized. And on that platform, we can provide the maximum level of convenience to our tourists. Second, we're working very hard to combine tourism activities and business activities so that tourism becomes a very important element that can be embedded into all commercial activities. And third, we're always a tourist center whose demands and requirements are closely linked to city governance. Efforts to create a more satisfactory market experience for our tourists.
What we are putting emphasis on is that together, tourism and culture, how to promote the dance. Tourism has launched a national campaign. In Creole, we call it l'hospitalité. In English, it's hospitality. It's a service excellence program where we have started going to the school so that at a very young age, the children are starting to know exactly what tourism is all about.
A lot of the challenges will be in the past, we hope, and we are going to embrace a better future for tourism, especially for these cities that embrace tourism. Thank you so much